myself into stage as well. So there you go. As you can see me now. All right, so for today's podcast, today is going to be like fate over fortune. As you can see, your story matters. And I am your host today. My name is Rachel Batamayo, and I'm so grateful you're joining us today. And this episode is entitled Fate Over Fortune. It's about choosing fate, purpose, and conviction. And also, of course, we are telling some stories of resilience, conviction, and trust stories where fate becomes the compass that guided life and purpose. Isn't it exciting? Woohoo! My team right there. Hello and shout out. And today's our guests are two remarkable women whose journeys brings faith, purpose, fortune, and impact into everything they do. Isn't it exciting? And actually, you know what? Their path is one of the inspiring stories that success isn't only measured as financial gain, but it's also the meaning of service and courage to everyone. So, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to welcome you on stage. Our first speaker, let me just introduce Sabrina Osso. Hi, Sabrina.
Hello, Rachel. So
Sabrina,
happy to be here with you.
thank you so much. And Sabrina also is a TEDx speaker, founder, and CEO of Also Safe. And she's also author and real estate professional. Sabrina's empowerment and also particularly through her innovative Also Safe certification system that blends education and technology to prevent violence in homes, schools, and workplaces. And her lived experiences, advocacy, and creative approach had made her powerful voice for healing and transformation. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's all welcome Sabrina. There you go. How are you doing today?
Very well. Thank you so much, Rachel.
And of course, before we jump into our stories and also some questions and answer, now you guys are so excited. This is gonna be our first podcast. This is gonna be our last podcast for this year, episode number 1, which is fate over fortune. So we also have our second speaker. You know what? Our second speaker is one of the youngest leader I know in the community, and she's currently from LA. And I'm so happy that she's joining us. She is a certified public accountant, entrepreneur, and also founder and president of Pamana Threads. And also, she is a social impact leader and advocate for for professional expertise, purpose-driven leadership, and community empowerment. And I'm so excited to welcome you here. Her background in finance and leadership has taken her from industry to impactful initiatives that uplift the communities and champion purpose over profit. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's all welcome Charlene on stage. Hi, Charlene.
Thanks for having me, Rachel. Hi, everyone.
Hello. So, today we have a powerful team adding on stage. We have Charlene and Sabrina, and we are so excited for today. Wait, some slide. Okay. It's me and our Sabrina also and Charlene. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to introduce one of the most powerful speaker for tonight, Miss Sabrina also. So Sabrina also, we have some couple of questions for you. It's more like about your journey about being CEO of Home Safe and Home for You and Me. So would you like to tell more about that Home Safe and Also Safe?
Sure, sure. Thank you so much again for having me on this wonderful panel. I'm so happy to be here with you and Charlene. And uh, yes, as you introduced, I am uh, feel safe where you live, learn, work, and play. I am a TEDx speaker, real estate agent, and uh, dancer, teacher, and children's book author on creating and maintaining respect in homes, workplaces, and schools. And the focus is in the home. Uh, Wherever you live, whether you live in a townhouse, a co-op, a condo, a single family home, a multifamily dwelling, a two-family home, a villa, a mansion, a mobile home, a senior community, a dormitory, it doesn't matter. You should feel safe at home. You should feel like it's home and not hell. You should feel like it's your sanctuary and not a war zone. So I have personal and professional experience with the opposite of that, unfortunately. My father beat my mother on a regular basis. My mother would beat me, so I know firsthand how difficult it is to live in that type of environment. So I wanted to develop a business with products and services that could really help people and be really healing and make a difference. Um, and essentially, everything happens in the home. Everything starts in the home. So I thought long and hard about my business, how I wanted to structure it. And I said to myself, it has to be in real estate. That is the focus of our business. It's the Osso Safe certification for properties, where property owners, property managers, landlords, they purchase the Osso Safe Home Sweet Home package, and it consists of a policy, a seminar, an app, and therapists assigned to the property. And all of these components working together makes for an Osso Safe certified property. I could go into detail what each of those components are, but for right now, we are spearheading the real estate industry in this manner. People sign the policy, everybody gets educated with the Osso Safe Home Sweet Home seminar, adults and children alike. And there is an app that I hired a software company to detect violence-like movements and captures them in real time, issuing alerts to the landlord or the property owner. And it's basically saying, look, I just saw you beat the crap out of her in my unit 2, and you just beat the crap out of him in my unit 10. This is grounds for eviction. You knew that this was going to happen. You are held to a higher regard, a higher standard in an Osso Safe certified property. You need to go because I need to protect everybody else in my building, whether it's a single family home or many, many units. And then the fourth and final component are therapists are assigned to the property. So you have like an advocate for you as a tenant. Wow, we're dealing with something. Our kid came home with bad grades. We don't know how to maneuver. Can you help us through this? So, and I want to say to your listeners, to your audience, at the core of what we do is children.
Mm-hmm.
Children are very important in this whole equation, in this whole premise of making homes safe. Children have voice and choice, and the book, and thank you for doing a beautiful job advertising us, promoting us. But the book is a staple in all Osso Safe certified properties. And in the book, I am saying, I'm teaching kids, planting the seed. Maybe you're safe with mom and dad, stepmom and stepdad, but what if you're not? What if there's an aunt, an uncle, a grandparent, a close family friend that you want to live with that makes you feel safe? Where we're going to get you there. And we explain in the book the difference between respect and disrespect, abuse and non-abuse. So that way kids understand, wow, I'm not crazy. The
Mm-hmm.
fact that I'm getting beaten, it's not my fault. It's mom and dad that are doing this to me. And in the book, I'm also saying, I am teaching that know that for the moment, which means right now, you are safe. So we teach breathing techniques. We teach them that to vent out their feelings in any which way. And we're also empowering them by teaching them the Osso Safe Kids cheer. And it goes like this: I want to live where I am Osso Safe, and I am Osso Safe with, and they get to fill in the blank.
All
If
right.
it's mom and dad, great. If it's stepmom, stepdad, great. If it's an aunt, an uncle, a grandparent, a close family friend, don't be ashamed. And we realize kids can lie, right? They could say, no, 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 I'm safe with mommy and daddy because they're too afraid. That's okay. In the book, And then the certification, we meet them where they are. We're saying to them, if you're too afraid to say right now, that's okay. So it's about empowering them and giving them voice and choice. So all of these components working together makes for an Osso Safe certified property. Our logo gets placed outside of the property, so that way any vehicle, pedestrian, traffic looking for a place to live, wow, I know what that logo means. It means that they make respect a required standard in all homes. And if and when violence occurs, they have the mechanisms and systems in place to diminish it and prevent it.
Okay, that's so amazing. I have been encountered you like I think a year ago, and what you do is so inspiring, and we will look forward to hearing more and also learning more from Also Safe. So before we jump into our questions for tonight, it's gonna be like unstructured because we want to actually inspire people like how you survived, right? And how would you be able to see and build that Also Safe despite of your difficulties and challenges in lives before. But before we jump into that, I would love also to ask our next speaker, our guest speaker for tonight. She is Charlene Bornea, which also the CEO of Pamana Threads. So, hi Charlene, how are you doing today?
Hi, Rachel. Thanks for having me. I'm
Oh,
all good. It's quite chilly, even here in LA.
oh wow. Shout out to LA. So, would you like to share more about Pamana Threads and how you impact or inspire other people by your organization?
Yeah, sure. So, to introduce myself, I'm Charlene May Bornea. I'm a CPA, a social impact advocate, and a founder of Pamana Threads. So, I've been blessed with opportunities, talents, and skills, and I try to use them to make a meaningful difference in the lives of others. So, I'm the eldest of three siblings, and from a young age, I learned responsibility and service. So, growing up in a middle class family, my parents emphasized values and service above everything. So, today, I'm also a tita of two nephews. So, that's like, it also deepens my sense of care for the next generations. But yeah, that's like a brief overview of my life. Rachel? Well, to add to that, so ever since my mom's passing was untimely and deeply challenging. So at her deathbed, I was asking like, why was she taken away from us? And then I was crying and I said, God, your will be done. So I trusted her mission on earth was complete. So during the season, I prayed the rosary daily and eventually prayed specifically for hope. So the last thing she did was serve our family, and that memory still reminds me of the importance of love and service. So, from that experience, Pamanthreats was born, a way to honor her and create impact. So, looking back now, I can't imagine the Charlene who lived through that season and the Charlene I am today. So, I've overcome so many fears I never thought I would survive, and I'm proud of the woman I've become. So that was like, God became my greatest anchor through it all. And I always hold on to, Philippians chapter 4, verse 13. That's like my constant reminder of the strength through Christ.
Wonderful. I can't believe that I saw Charlene like a year ago and she's so beautiful and calm and beautiful like the other guest speaker, Miss Sabrina. And I'm so excited to hear a lot of like inspiring stories. How would you be able to come up and rise again despite of those challenges in life? So now we are going to jump right into our first question. So it's gonna be like I'll give you like 1 minute or 2 minutes to answer this question, and it's gonna be like unstructured. So earlier you shared about your organizations with Sabrina, Also Safe, and with Charlene, it's the Pamana Threads. And my first question, actually, you know what this question is coming from youth who's currently in the stage wherein they wanted to discover their competencies, their full potential, and they wanted to to be like the CEOs like you both. So the first question would be, so in your own words, how do you define fate over fortune? Let's start with Miss Sabrina.
Yes. Thank you so much. And Charlene, I'm sorry to hear about your mom's passing. It sounds like you had a really great relationship with her, and I'm so sorry that she, like you said, that she was taken away too early. And um, but you're carrying on you're continuing her work and her spirit. So I just wanted to say that I'm dealing with loss myself, actually. So um, well, I just want to say that I believe that you don't have to sacrifice one for the other. You can be faithful, like spiritual, and be have money and make fortune for yourself. The more you can make fortune for yourself, the more you can help people. There is nothing wrong. And I'm older than the both of you. Uh, so I want to encourage your listeners and Charlene and you, Rachel, that there's nothing wrong with making lots and lots of money. In fact, you should make as much money as you can, because the more money you can make, the more you can help people. Because if you're lacking in money, then you can't do much. There's no power behind that. And you could be spiritual, you could have your faith, your religion, practice your religion in any way, shape, or form that you feel is fitting for you. So that for me, and I want to pass that on to the both of you and your listeners, that there's nothing wrong with that. And we at Osso Safe, we believe that the more money you can make, the better, because that way you can help more people, adults and children alike. Uh, so I hope I answered the question. Maybe you need me to elaborate on that a little bit. I don't know. Uh, like I said, you could practice your faith, you could practice your whatever you believe as far as your religion, your mantras. One that I like is those who seek shall find.
That's true.
So whatever you're looking for, the fact that you're looking for it, you'll find it. So I hope I answered the question as far as it's more for us at Also Safe, it's more faith equals fortune and fortune equals faith. So, it's balancing both.
That's so true. So thank you so much for sharing, Miss Sabrina. That's actually a good inspiration, especially for those who are starting their career right now and somehow overwhelmed. Like how would they become successful in life? Because they wanted to do a lot of things, right? So this podcast is something that we can share that it's okay to step one at a time. Right. So faith could also be fortune, and fortune could also be faith. So, yeah. Thank you so much, Miss Sabrina. So, how about you, Charlene? What is your thought about faith over fortune? Life doesn't get better by chance, it's get better by change.
Yes, true. So, as of what I've shared before, I've been blessed with opportunities and talents and skills, and I feel like I have the kind of the mission to share them to others to make a meaningful difference in the lives of others, and that's why I founded Pamana Threads. So Pamana Threads was, like I didn't really a year ago I wouldn't even thought of founding a social enterprise of my own. But there was so much love in my heart that I wanted to share to other people. That was the love that I used to channel to my parents, to my mom. And I feel like there's something in me that I need to do. And I've been doing this for, more than a decade. So I've been involved with different organizations. And I feel like if there was one thing I wanted to do with my skills, I wanted to, create abundance in that sense. And how do I, create abundance? Just like what Sabrina said, like if you can make money out of your skills, your talents, you can make a meaningful impact in the lives of others. So now, for me, faith over fortune is like choosing trust over control and purpose over, just profit. So that's the true abundance isn't only financial. It's living in alignment with what God is calling you to do. And I feel that that is that is the way I choose to do, and I choose to lead purpose driven life.
Health issues, and we don't know how to start from scratch to build again, and that's why our mantra is keep going and keep inspiring. So thank you for sharing that, Charlene. That's so inspiring, and with that young age you were able to come up with your own organization and inspire people by what you have experienced before. So thank you. So with regards to that, I know that it's, we had a lot of maybe challenges and difficulties in life. Have there been a moments in your life where you were faced with a decision that tempted you to choose a financial or material gain, but you choose to keep going and tell to yourself that it's gonna be okay for as long as I am positive and I am optimistic in life, and I'll keep going and I'll keep inspiring. And how did that choice shape you? What was the outcome? And what was the outcome?
Well, choosing faith over gain is what you're saying, right? So it's so basically, when I founded Pamana Threads, I never really thought of like gaining anything out of it. I just wanted to kind of make use of the skill sets that I have. I feel like, at this age, at this point, there's so many there's so many things that you can make use of. Like you make use of technology to um to get skilled at something. So it's way that when I founded Pamana Thread, so was a moment where I chose meaning over financial gain. In a sense, provision comes in many forms, not just financial, but also through spiritual support and the connections we build with others. So looking back in 2017, when I helped out um, in terms of grant writing, I felt so much fulfillment when, after so many nights we were coming up with the figures. I was doing the financial section of the grant proposal. I felt like when I heard that it was approved, I felt this different kind of fulfillment. And I even told my mom about that. And I said, this is what I wanted to do. I feel like this is in alignment to what God is calling me to do. So that in a way, I was, like when something uncertain happened, that was like the greatest kind of heartbreak in my life last year. I felt that I didn't have any reason anymore to kind of continue with whatever I wanted to do. And that's when I said to myself, if I have so much love in my heart to give to my parents, to give to my family, to give to my community, how about founding a social enterprise? And I also help organize social, like a competition for social enterprises before. So why not found something of meaning? And I'm so excited, by the way, to unveil that our legacy collection is gonna be um, launched this coming Valentine's Day. That's gonna be a collection that honors loved ones. So it transforms memories into meaningful pieces, and it continues to support children in need.
That is so exciting, and we would love to be part of that. Our team would love to be part of it. I love kids as well, so if that's also for young, what is the demographics of that activity? Is it also for kids or for young people? Is it for everybody?
It's for everybody. It's just, like we're we're whenever you're in a mission of doing something good, there's always kind of like you can always be flexible with anything. I think I've always carried that through in terms of, the way I support organizations. I hear, feedback. I'm open to everything. So I'm open to whatever you guys are like,
Mm-mm.
yeah, recommend. Yeah. The main thing is we continue our God's calling. So yeah.
That's so nice. Yeah, thank you. How about Miss Sabrina? What's your thought about that? So, as I asked earlier, Charlene.
Yes. And I'm sorry, can you repeat the question again, Rachel? I'm sorry. What was the question again? Well, I'll just I'm sorry, just to save time. Um that is so great, Charlene. That is so great that you have this big event in February, uh and you're combining fashion with it sounds like fashion with uh purpose and helping children or children and adults alike. I want to say that we respect Osso Safe, all of the nonprofits that deal with domestic violence, and there's many of them. The thing is, when I designed my business, I
Mhm.
didn't take the nonprofit approach because violence, abuse, chaos, dysfunction, it is an epidemic. It is an absolute epidemic, not only in the US, but just around the world, unfortunately, and not necessarily where all the victims are female. There are male victims out there, and children suffer the most. I should know I was one of them. Children suffer the most in these situations. It is very scary to live with a parent that is violent, abusive, chaotic, dysfunctional. 1 out of 3 women will be beaten or raped in her lifetime. 1 out of 5 adolescent girls is abused by her boyfriend. 1 out of 3 young people will be in an abusive relationship. 1 out of 7 men is abused. 15 million children witness violence in their own homes each and every year. So, and there's so many other statistics. And I said to myself, the nonprofits, the charities are out there, and these statistics exist the way they are. So we're not going to solve this huge problem, epidemic of violence by being a nonprofit. So I have been very adamant and very headstrong on being for profit because when people pay for a service, the problem gets resolved. For example, this problem with violence, abuse, chaos, dysfunction. So, and the children, like I said, suffer the most. So we are offering the OSO Safe certification for properties as a service and as a requirement that okay, you want to live here, great, but you're going to be also safe certified. If you want to have you know heat, hot water, electricity, central air, great, but in addition to that, and probably the most important component is, well, you're going to be respectful, and if you're not, you, the abuser, only gets immediately evicted from the premises. And we go into full knowledge knowing that that would be the consequences. So there's no surprise. So it's making respect a required standard in all homes, and it's putting it on the map in the sense that it's in the policy. The certification is like an addendum to existing leases, existing mortgages. Um, so that's the approach that we take, and we feel that people have been responding really positively towards that. Like, oh, wow, yes, right. It's a non-negotiable. You don't get to act like a beast, like a barbarian, like a savage. You're not going to be scaring your children where there's verbal, physical, sexual abuse. We need to be better than that. We need to make respect a required standard and practice respect on a daily basis. That's how living in your home should be.
Yeah, home is a home, right? It should be safe. It should be livable, and some home a place wherein you can be comfortable and who you are. And thank you so much, Miss Sabrina, for doing that. That's so inspiring, especially for the kids, right? Because we live in this world and society where a lot of danger, and your goal and your organizations helps a lot of people, and we thank you for that. Yeah, I love that the thing that you said, that even though there's a lot of people keep pushing you and pushing your limits, but still you have to keep going and going back to your vision, which is my vision is to help kids, and that is also safe. That's wonderful. Thank you. So, my next question is something that is so inspiring, especially for our listeners, like our youth. So many people struggles with balancing their ambition and spiritual grounding. And how do you stay rooted in faith and with your goals in life while still pursuing your growth and purpose?
Well, I think it's just a matter of mind over matter, and no, like you said, knowing your vision and staying on that course. And there are so many challenges with any business, with any, whether it's for profit or nonprofit. There's so many challenges, from money to dealing with people's personalities, different personalities, to uh, uh, mm, wow, like somebody may be stealing something from you, like maybe stealing something that you worked hard for. And what do you do? So you consult with lawyers, or with different people in your company, or whatever you outsource. Then um, you make sure that you have your copyrights, make sure that you have your trademarks, make sure that you have everything in order, have your documents in order, everything is signed, everything is checked with attorneys and with the professionals in your business. And you have to keep on top of that, you know, and also you have to trust your workers to do the right thing, to do what is right for your business, and to educate them on a constant basis, that, look, this is how I believe it needs to be done, and I would appreciate it if you keep course, you know, to keep focused, and to keep the vision and the end result in mind. And because you're going to be pulled every which way, I can tell you. You're going to be pulled to the left, to the right, to the top, to the bottom, to on a diagonal, to so you have to really keep focused, and really believe in yourself, believe in your purpose. It's very important. I had a business coach tell me early on, wow, Sabrina, your why for your business is huge. You have a very big why. Like, why am I doing this? So, and it's kept me on course with Osso Safe.
That's so nice. So if there's one word to answer that, that would be like your purpose. Like no matter what happened, you have to go back to your why, your purpose, why you are doing these things, and that's what you made you successful in your career and your business. So thank you so much. How about you, Charlene? What's your thought about that? Many people struggles with balancing ambition and spiritual grounding. How do you stay rooted in faith while still pursuing goals, growth, and purpose?
Yeah, just to add to what Sabrina said, I believe that, it's so easy to get in your head when you're checking off all your goals and you're achieving them. So every day I start my day with checking my intentions. So I ensure that that my goals are still reflecting service and humility. So when you have ambition, it's wonderful, right? To have ambition, but when your ambition is surrendered to purpose rather than ego, it becomes meaningful. So start your day with daily reflection and prayer, and that helped me stay centered, focused, and connected to what truly matters. The things that are priceless, those are the things that we should focus on. Um, so many things. I mean, personally, I've achieved the goals that I have for myself, and it's still not enough, because when you're not in alignment with your calling, it's hard to find meaning to what you're doing. So many people are in at the top of the ladder, and they still feel empty. So that when you check your intention, when you check what your is what you're doing still aligned with what God is calling you to do, I think that's like one of the things that you should do every single day. It's just surrendering to God's purpose for your life, rather than getting consumed by your own ego.
That's so nice because most of the people right nowadays they're so actually they are depressed and they are actually looking forward to what is next. So it is a very timely reminder that you have to keep going and to keep your faith for you to be able reach the full potential of yourself. So thank you for sharing that. Is there a specific scripture quote or either mantra would you like to you have in your life, or a guiding principle that has seen for your life that has been affected so I mean effective so far, and would you like to share it to our listener for today?
Yeah, there's actually one scripture ever since I was in high school. So I think it comes with being eldest. You wanted to really dream big to make sure that you're the role model for your own siblings. So it sometimes feel overwhelming to take up such big responsibilities. So I keep on leaning towards Philippians chapter 4 verse 13. That's like my big anchor all throughout. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So whenever I tell myself, even when I was like preparing for my board exams, for my other things that I'm pursuing, I always tell that if you have Christ within you, you have Christ's strength within you, you can achieve anything. And even more if what you're doing is in alignment with with what God is calling you to do. So I feel like in that sense, it's it keep it kept me grounded all throughout. And also there's also one thing, because as what I've said, last year I lost my mom. That's the greatest fear in my life, and I can't even imagine that I'm in a podcast, um kind of like telling that story in briefly. So I turned to 2 Corinthians chapter 12 verse 9, which reminded me that God's grace is enough and his power is made perfect in weakness. Because like we all are frail. We're not like superhumans. We get we feel every single emotion. And I feel that when you're grounded, and when you know that God is with you, and you can heal from every single thing that is pushing you to be someone that you're not. So I feel that um just praying, keep on praying and have faith in what God has called you to do, and whatever you're experiencing, that's preparing you into something that is leaning towards what God wanted you to be. So, like for example, I feel that, I was asking myself, why did I have to lose my mom at the age of 31? And I felt like, I was checking off a lot of my goals. I was, I immigrated here in America. I got my master's degree. I got my first car. I was traveling all around. I didn't have, I feel that I'm living my dream life. And then and at the end of the day, I was like, why there's so many blessings coming to my life, and I felt that, oh my God, there's something, I always check myself whenever I don't want to get overwhelmed with blessings. I don't want to get consumed by the things that I'm achieving. That's how I keep myself grounded, that, like whatever you're getting, whatever blessings you have right now, these are all coming from God, and God can also take this away. So that's how I keep myself grounded. And yeah, so I just, I just surrendered to what he wanted me to do. And I feel in that way, I said I told myself, and I when I prayed for hope, I said that, God, I'm giving all these burdens to you. I've done every single thing that I need to do. It's so different. My mom suffered cardiac arrest here in LA. It's hard to, I went from, I went from planning a life with her to planning a funeral. Rachel, when I was speaking to you about this, uh like 2 days ago, I was crying, and I told myself, I don't want your podcast session to be more like an MMK. But to me, I felt that, you know my mom's mission is done here on earth, and that's when I told myself that my mission continues, and whatever I am experiencing, it's preparing my heart into something bigger. And I feel that way, that um people, we get bitter with a lot of things, because I experienced a lot of difficulties, a lot of challenges during that time, aside from my mom's passing. And I told myself, oh my gosh, did I just sign up to unlimited challenges at this point? Because I feel like, can I just focus on grieving first, and then I'll take care of other things? But then, I told myself that, you have overcome so many challenges just by coming to America. So I miss so much. I miss my mom so much. And when we held her funeral, the rites, there were so many people coming to her, to the wake, and they were giving all these kind, like, beautiful words. Your mom changed my life, helped me in so many ways when we were in college. And I felt in that sense that I want to, this is what your teacher told you to do, when someone has lived a meaningful life, that you'll get to know when someone has lived a meaningful life, when so many people come to their wake, so many people give their kind of like testimonies, that they've your mom has done something really, really great here on earth, and she has completed her mission. And as painful as it was, at that time, I I just surrendered everything to God. I told myself, let your will be done, and I'll follow you all throughout my life. And I feel my mission continues with Pamana threads.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So thank you so much for sharing. And with Miss Sabrina, do you have any mantra or a quote your guiding principle that has seen you through your toughest season? And then, yeah, would you like to share that and inspire other people?
Yes, gosh, Charlene, I feel your heart just bursting, your mom and um I just want to say, your mom is her spirit, she's so proud of you, she's so proud of you, and you're just going to to continue that pride, uh yeah, I just want to say that you're so noble. Just listening to you, um, she's living through you, your mom, Um, yes, as I said before, something that one of the, and I think, I don't know if it's in, I mean, I was raised Catholic, but I'm not religious, but I am spiritual. So, and I do pray in my own way. And I think I mentioned it before. Those who seek shall find, and I do. So if you're looking for something, you'll find it. Just by that energy and that that spirit. But the other thing that I've learned over the years that has helped me and my business and just with so many things, is do it wrong until you get it right. It's a mantra, a a way of life. Do it wrong until you get it right. So it means that don't wait for the perfect opportunity, the perfect that you need to have all this money in order to start your business or start this idea or embark on a project. You're going to fail. You're going to make mistakes. There's going to be many, many challenges. So don't wait for the perfect opportunity. It's never going to come. Just do it now. Do it now and do it wrong. You're going to make mistakes. The more mistakes you make, out of those mistakes, one thing is you're going to do correctly, and you're going to use that one good thing to catapult you to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. You're going to be doing more correct things than wrong things. But if your fear of failure, your fear of making mistakes, you're never going to do it. So do it wrong. Do it wrong. Make a mess. Make mistakes. And that way, at least you start. And that way, you're going to take all of that, all of your mistakes, and you're going to make them into non-mistakes in doing it right. Like, oh yeah, I was doing it this way, I did it wrong. So now, let's say you're hiring somebody or you're having a meeting and oh my gosh, that was a disaster. Wow, I really blew it. It's okay. Let it be okay. The next meeting, you made all those mistakes. You're not going to make them anymore. You're going to fix, you're going to correct, you're going to adjust. So, another mantra that I think is really important in life, even in life, do it wrong until you get it right over and over again.
Wow, that is so powerful. You know, tonight is just so inspiring, and I'm having a goosebump because if there's any one of you who is actually looking for a sign to start now, it's actually the sign for you to start now. Because sometimes we keep on overthinking, is it going to be successful? Is it going to be okay? Right? But all you just have to do is to trust and do it now because we never know if we have tomorrow, right? Because the future is the now. So thank you so much, Miss Sabrina. And you know what, for our last question, so to inspire our listeners, so I know sometimes result doesn't come quickly, and that requires trust and patience, isn't it? So what advice do you have for cultivating a mindset of trust when results are not immediate? Maybe Charlene?
Yeah, so I myself has experienced kind of like being impatient about the things that I wanted to achieve. Like for example, if there was like a project that needs to be completed, I wanted to get it done. I just wanted everyone to cooperate. So I feel like, there's so many things that can make you impatient, especially like for example, my love life. So so I've learned to be patient. So waiting isn't really actually wasted. It's more about, enjoying that season. What's most important is that you're growing during the season of waiting, and that, as you're waiting, you're also cultivating your sense of, like your purpose. You're continuing your mission. And so faith actually gave me the patience to trust that the timing of that part of my journey. So I feel that, you know as a woman, we're not like, we don't have a certain age where we have to like get married or have kids. It's more about, are we aligning our actions, our goals with God's calling? And if there was one person that is for you, that person's gonna come on time, on God's time. So I trust God so much, and I surrender everything that's happening in my life, whether it's in my career and my personal life, in the advocacies that I'm on. So yeah, it's just, there's there's um there's a purpose why you're waiting, and I cling to God into that. I trust God that whatever is happening in my life is right on time. God is always on time.
Wow, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. So that's the note for today. There's always a purpose while we are waiting. So enjoy what you have right now and don't overlook what's in front of you and trust God. Miss Sabrina, would you like to share also for those who are currently impatient right now because they wanted to see the result now, now, now? So what would you advise?
Yes, yes. I like what Charlene said a lot. Uh, I like that a lot. Yes. And thank you for reminding us about that. It kind of uh takes me to, I'm a dancer, and in dance, we're always balancing, balancing our one leg with the other leg, and our weight has to be on one leg. And it may appear that if you're balancing on one leg and turning, or in your turns, your pirouettes, that leg isn't doing anything, but it's actually, you're grounding it's grounding you, it's your anchor. And it may seem like it's not doing anything while your arms are doing everything and your other leg, but that standing leg is your support. So I like what Charlene said, that uh yeah, like you're waiting, there's purpose in waiting, because sometimes there's nothing to do. If you've done everything, you've done A, B, C, D, you met with this person, you talked with this person, you networked, you made phone calls, you did the emails, you checked off this box, you got everything in order, but still nothing is happening. Nothing is happening. So that's where the patience has to kick in and say, just wait, look for signs. Maybe it's not going to work out the way you thought it was. Maybe it's going to work out in a completely different way that you never even thought of. And maybe something that is not an opportunity, in fact, is an opportunity. You just have to look at it a different way. So I agree. I agree with Charlene, and I like what she said. And yes, and like I said, I'm spiritual in my own way, and I'm doing my best to practice more patience and just keep asking, like, what am I supposed to do? Tell me. Tell me, what am I supposed to do? Like, I don't know. I don't know what to do. So, my therapist once said to me, it was really good advice. When you don't know what to do, don't do anything. So you just, which
Wow.
means that you wait and look for signs, like things will come to you, like, oh, that's it, bingo. That's what I have to do. And yeah, and I like a lot of the times the speeches that actors and actresses, when you watch, at least I watch the Academy Awards and they accept their award, and a lot of them they'll say, I didn't gain success until later in life. I was doing all of these things, but now I'm successful, but it took so long, and that was your path, that was your path. So uh yeah, so I feel like what Charlene said, just to agree with that, and even more so, yeah, patience, and there's purpose in waiting, and just trusting, even though you don't know what's going on. um Keep course, keep course, keep to your purpose, your mission, because that will pull you through all of the waiting and all of the unsure, the insecurity. Yeah.
Thank you. Wow, that's so
Yeah.
wonderful. Um, Even though it's not there, if you don't know the answer, just take a deep pause, breathe, inhale and exhale, and if it's meant for you, it will find you. Right? So as long
Yeah.
as you thank you so much, Miss Sabrina and Charlene, for sharing your stories, your insights, and vulnerability today. Your words remind us that faith is not passive, it is active. It shapes our choices, leads with purpose, and ultimately defines a life well lived. So before we end this, we would like to also, if you want to promote your Also Safe with Miss Sabrina and Pamana Threads with Charlene, please, the floor is yours. Go ahead, Miss Sabrina.
Sure, sure. Yes. Thank you so much for this opportunity, Rachel. It was so wonderful to meet you, Charlene. Uh, our website is ossosafe.com. We are on all the major social media platforms: Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram. The two platforms that are dedicated just to children, children of all ages, teeny tiny through high school, where we talk about abuse, we talk about respect, we talk about consent in dating, we talk about bullying, we talk about pornography, we talk about uh, warning signs if you're in a bad relationship, all of these things. That's the YouTube and TikTok. People could just Google, kids can just Google Sabrina Osso or Osso Safe Kids. And our children's book is on Amazon and other book selling platforms.
Thank you. Do you have a YouTube or also podcast to follow so everyone can follow? Please look for Also Safe. They have website as well, and we're gonna put this on our link once we upload this video. Charlene, would you like to also share your Pamana threads and promote it? Or is your
Yeah. So I invite everyone to visit our website. That's pamanathreads.com. So Pamana Threads is more than just a brand. It is a tribute to the enduring love and legacy of our, you know, loved ones who passed away. In my case, it's my mama Kathy and Lola Fidela. So it was inspired by their unwavering dedication to family, service, and community. So the company was born from a place of love, loss, and the desire to make a meaningful impact. So if you're someone who's, dealing with a loss of a loved one, whether it's a family member or anyone, Pamana Threads is the space that will willingly open our arms to help you in that sense. And we're making these memories into lasting legacies, even if they already pass away. So yeah, looking forward to hear from everyone.
so we look forward to share your Pamana Threads website. We'll keep you posted. And if you want to know more about it, so we're gonna share that on our social media accounts as well. Just keep going and keep inspiring podcast and also YouTube account and Instagram account. And thank you so much again, Miss Sabrina and Charlene. And again, remember to our listeners, faith doesn't mean having all the answers. It means trusting in purpose, even when you cannot see the full path ahead. And why keep going and keep inspiring? If today's episode moved you, please share it with someone who needs encouragement. And don't forget to follow our YouTube account, Instagram, keep going, keep inspiring, where we continue uplifting conversations about purpose, resilience, and spiritual courage. Until next time, keep going, keep trusting, and keep inspiring. Would like also to shout out and thank you to our sponsors for today. Oh, these are actually quotes from our young change makers, and they keep moving and also looking forward to this kind of conversation. As one of our young change makers said, we are not the leaders of tomorrow, we are the leaders of today. I speak not for myself but for those without a voice. So shout out to Samira. And last one, with the kindness is also activism, listening, understanding, and understanding up of others matters just as much. So thank you for sharing your quotes for today and your learnings from today's podcast, and we look forward to seeing you next podcast and next episode. And the special thanks to our partners, Creative Design, for our beautiful conversation today, like the creative part, and also Safe. We look forward to partner with you, with your organizations and your vision, and Pamana Threads as well. We look forward to partner with you soon and more and more. So thank you so much and enjoy and happy holidays, everyone. We hope that you enjoyed our conversations today, and we look forward to seeing you. Namaste.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye. Bye. Thank you.